Alec Rowley to be followed by Tom Mason. Alec Rowley.
Thank you, Presiding Officer. My question is for the Local Government Minister, Kevin Stewart. I had a discussion yesterday with the co-leader of Fife Council, David Ross. One of the specifics I raised with him was the levels of fly tipping, which are becoming certainly problematic in some areas. And I think across the country, if you saw the record view the day, in terms of urging the government to get councils to open up the recycling centres. Councillor Ross was quite clear that whilst it would be a challenge to open the recycling centres, that he believed they could begin to do that, but that the Scottish Government have been quite clear that to date these recycling centres are non-essential activity. I wonder if the Minister can clarify that, and if he can clarify if he's going to start to work with councils to get these recycling centres open again and working in a safe way.
Minister Kevin Stewart.
Thank you, Presiding Officer, and I thank Mr Rowley for his question. It was a question that was posed today to the First Minister at her press briefing. Obviously, fly tipping is an offence. People should not do it, and people should behave responsibly during the course of this public health emergency. As the First Minister said earlier, we continue to review everything that is possible in terms of what we can or cannot do. And we will take decisions based on the evidence that we receive. One of the things which I have found useful in terms of trying to move forward with the construction industry is for folks in the know, in terms of folks who work in particular areas, to put together guidance around about how they could see that particular sphere, in this case recycling centres, operating within all of the rules that are in place with social distancing. If Fife have done something like that, I'm more than happy for Mr Rowley to send us that so that we can have a look at that. But beyond that, we would also have to take cognizance of the behaviours of people if we were to move to reopen these centres, which is sometimes a little bit more difficult to do in terms of that judgment. I would say and reiterate again, as I think we all have done today, our first key priority here is to stop the spread of the virus. However, we will base any future decisions on knowledge, and if Councillor Ross or Councillor Alexander or any other councillor out there want to give us an idea of how they think that could possibly work, I'm more than willing to look at that.
Thank you. A quick supplementary from Mr Rowley.
Yeah, I mean, I understand what Kevin's saying about people shouldn't dump rubbish, but the fact is people are dumping rubbish and it's starting to get more and more of a problem, and I don't want it to become a health problem for people with rubbish dumped here, there and wherever. So the commitment I'm looking for is that the Local Government Minister, you will start to talk to councils about this, talk to COSLA and start looking at safe ways of opening these centres up before this problem escalates and you'll be forced to take action.
Presiding Officer, ministers are constantly speaking to COSLA about various issues and to council leaders about various issues, as Mr Rowley I'm sure will understand. What we have to do in order to reopen anything at all is to make sure that we are doing all of that in a safe manner. And that in everything that we do is guided by the medical and scientific advice that we get. I well understand the difficulties that Mr Rowley is highlighting. I know that fly tipping is becoming a problem in many, many places, but we have to do what is right in terms of ensuring that we stop the spread of this virus. But we will continue to local authorities around about the recycling issues and many, many others.
And I think the Cabinet Secretary, Aileen Campbell, would like back in the subject too. Cabinet Secretary.
Yeah, it's just to kind of underline the points that Kevin has made, but government is proactively working with COSLA, with local authorities, with SEPA, with Zero Waste Scotland, the waste sector, in order to assess some of those risks. So that work is ongoing and that engagement is happening. And also there, aside from myself and Kevin having explicit responsibility for local government, the other minister involved in a lot of this work and driving that is Rosanna Cunningham as well. So we'll endeavour to keep you informed as that work progresses.